It is Saturday here in Vilcabamba, and it is overcast. I swear, our weather is it's getting pretty monotonous now. It starts out overcast, and it stays overcast until maybe the late afternoon, and then sometimes it gets sunny. Most of the time, it gets sunny, but sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it sprinkles a little rain. We had this phenomena the other day of the spittling, just as minimal a rain as you could have and still say it was raining. Sort of like a fog that's precipitating out in little teensy droplets, a fog almost. I had that the other day. So you have to decide whether you're going to get the raincoat or just take a chance. Always some some overhead to pop under and let it pass. It never lasts terribly long. Well, I've been trying to do these larger productions here on YouTube, and with mixed results. It's educational to get better at using all the bells and whistles, but it's kind of disappointing, low audience, etc. But every once in a while, you put the right bit of bait on the hook and jiggle it in the water right, and you get a bunch of pescadas, pescas, little fish coming up to bite. That's you folks. No, I'm one of you. I'm out there looking on it on the internet too, and being attracted by the same sort of lures. Oh, there's our little dog. In Ecuador, dogs are they're taken differently than they are in the States. I mean, you just don't see people dressing up dogs in cute little outfits, or well, openly referring to them as furry children, which sounds a little weird. No, here they're guard dogs. They the people in the country that haven't decided to try to act like North Americans, the dog needs to do something, and that is to bark when somebody comes around. Some of them do a little too much barking. Some of them can't be bothered and just lay there. This one just barks at odd times. My landlord, actually my landlady, la mujer jefe de casa, the woman in charge of the house, adopted this dog. What happened? Oh, the other one just died of natural causes, old age. We have in Vilcabamba, us older mammals, is dying off. So I don't know where this other dog came from. I think it's a charity case because it acts awfully scared. It acts like a whooped dog. That old expression. When a dog's mistreated, it doesn't do it any psychological good. My heart goes out to the dog, but when it lays in the middle of the steps trying to get attention, it gets my attention. I don't go up steps as well as I used to, and this dog has a special talent. I went back to the States last year to sell all my worldly goods. Um, People didn't want them, but I sold as many as I could. When I got back, the very first thing I did, I left the taxi, and the first thing I did was step on this dog. Holding my suitcase and trying to go up the stairs, and the dog said, "Oh, here's a great opportunity. I can get this brand new human to step on me," which I did. And I've been careful to not step on it from them, but it'll lay on the steps like a teenager on a couch. Well, the teenagers of the 50s, I don't know what they're doing now. Fidgeting with their thumbs on a little piece of plastic, probably. Well, there I am, denigrating the younger generation again. Well, that's all right. They denigrate me. Fair. So what else am I doing? As far as YouTube, I've got these grandiose projects that probably aren't going to go anywhere, maybe shouldn't go anywhere. Maybe just the talking head against the green screen is the best I can do. I can put a lot of variety into the green screen. I'm real happy with the green screen. And maybe my efforts will be put toward doing animation of a simple sort with the green screen and the talking head. That's sort of caca. What else is happening? Well, downstairs, business is sort of slacking off. The bulk of the business for the restaurant that my landlord runs downstairs is Lojanos, people from the provincial capital of Loja. They travel halfway down the province, halfway to Peru, and try out the exotic cuisine here at the Gringo restaurant. The cheeseburgers are top notch, top notch. They really are. Oh, I've had people from the States say that often because Charlie has taught the family how to make good cheeseburgers, and I personally find it like 3 meals on one plate because my appetite is off lately, and that's a good thing. That's going to help me lose the weight that I need to lose if I want to continue living in this vale of tears, i.e., the world. I was talking to the AI the other day. Oh, please don't beat me up, except in the columns, in the comment field. Do that. Beat me up in the comment field for talking to the AI. It is really like talking to yourself, which is psychotherapy, and helps get information. You ask yourself the difficult question, and the back of your mind goes through possible answers while you're doing something else. But anyway, talking to the AI about a life expectancy for the people born when I was, 1946, which include George Bush Jr., Bill Clinton, and Donald Trump. We were all born in the same year when all those soldiers and airmen came home and got back to civilian life. Anyway, I said, how long can I expect? And it said, well, the average seems to be actual length of life seems to be about 84 to 86. My old man went at 86. And in addition, when I told it when my old man was born, 1918, and when he died, 2001, it said, oh, he lived a long time for his cohort, for the people born when he was, in his circumstance. So that means, slightly better genes for longevity, which I inherited, maybe. And so that pushes me out 86, maybe to 88, 88 years, or my God, 90 years? I can't imagine that. All of this is about planning for how do I deal with greatly reduced mobility. I'm doing all right now, but it's getting closer and closer. With eyesight problems, which are advancing, macular degeneration in my good eye, and not much other than peripheral in my other eye. Anyway, these are problems that I have to manage in a pragmatic and practical way. Pretending they're not there is one plan. It's the most common plan, and it's the one that a lot of people recommend. But it's not my way of doing things. So what I really think about is how can I work the ATM? I had to start practicing with the Braille on the ATM. There's two different keypad arrangements, which should be against the frickin' law. But I am projecting myself trying to use the ATM when I can't see very well in a couple of years to get the money. And of course, money makes everything possible, and the world run on money. And when I can't take care of myself and I got to pay somebody to do it, I'll need to get the money. But at some point, I'll probably have to have somebody take my card to the ATM and give them my number, and that calls for trust, which isn't a big deal with me. I don't trust people. Once burned, a couple of thousand times careful. Well, that's the worst part of getting old, is not being in control anymore, not having the power of agency, not being able to do what you decide you want to do. Hopefully good and moral, but up to you, and you live with the consequences. When you lose the power of mobility and cognition, also, the brain goes a little soft. I see funny signs of that. One thing I noticed recently, I do drawing. I'm fairly good at cartoon type drawing and humorous illustration. Um, but I've been putting photos up as background, for instance, against the green screen on YouTube. And I'm getting confused about, I need photo reference. That's what an artist used to draw. I mean, you don't have all these things in your imagination. My friend up in Maine is trying to help out the local lighthouse in Rockland and the breakwater light, to preserve it for tourism, probably, because I don't think it's turned on anymore. But he's putting a brochure together to raise money to maintain it. It is a building way out there in the weather, and he wants an illustration for the brochure. So I said, yeah, I like a challenge, so I'm going to do that. But what I do is I get reference drawings, or photos, excuse me. I get photos of the lighthouse. I get photos of a group taking a selfie, which is funny thing is, if I want to have the lighthouse in the drawing and the people, the happy people that are going to visit the lighthouse, about the only practical way of getting them both in there is with a selfie, because their back is to the lighthouse, so the point of view of the drawing will be their smiling, happy faces, and a little camera on a stick in front of them, and the lighthouse in the background, and probably a big schooner, a big sailboat. That's one of the drawing cards in the mid-coast area of Maine. So, and that's what you do when you make a drawing. You try to balance all the things. But anyway, the point of this ramble is that I'm worried about the copyright on the reference drawings, which doesn't make any sense because nobody's going to see the reference drawings. They're going to see a drawing, and it's perfectly legal to, draw copyrighted material. And the drawing becomes the new thing, and it has implicit copyright itself, even though it was inspired and inspired by photographs that may or may not have been copyrighted. That's what's happening in my little world right now. So, what else? Anything else? Sure looks dreary outside. This would not be the day that the people that are encouraging tourism would promote as typical. It's actually been more like New England in the period between winter and fall, and between winter and spring. Kind of wet and cool, slightly clammy like the coast of Maine. But I don't think anything else is happening, and that's a good thing sometimes. You folks take care of each other. That's all we have. Don't talk to the AI like I'm doing too much. It'll tell you things you might not want to hear. It's going to start pushing back, acting more and more like a human being. Take care of each other and be good, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.